All right, Karma, Ezreal. Okay, so we're going for the Karma Ezreal push lane. Technically, this could still be flexed, but it's not going to be. This is definitely just a high-pressure lane that they are wanting to push into the bot side. Will be Senna Nautilus. No Orianna, no LeBlanc, no Hui.
So I feel like okay, so they do actually.
What?
The problem is they could be Karma mid, Ezreal Ash bot. I mean that's true.
I guess it's Ezreal Ash bot. I'm really surprised we're doing Karma mid.
Irrelevant could just slam Darius now. Yes. Something that he was often going towards and something he's shown great proficiency on.
And there are some relatively low mobility
scout
set by Karma mid players.
Interesting that he's taking the Gnar. This is very much an all-in composition, guys. They go in with Karma speed. Very good at creating picks with the Ash Arrow. Huge amounts of hard CC.
Push.
Excellent front-to-back composition
I do think
for Fnatic. Probably better scaling on the side of SK, however, so Fnatic needs to be aggressive in kind of the mid-game.
I want to give the advantage over towards SK.
I mean, it does feel like Fnatic really want to play arm's length for a very long time.
That's what it feels like, yeah.
Why Ash into Not? Isn't the Not a counter pick? No, because you get bopped by Hail of Blades at level 1.
Are you going to be able to play arm's length against an Azir and a Senna? Because they have got good range and they've got good poke into you as well. And then you've got slightly easier engage from the Nautilus with the Rel follow-up in the Nut.
I mean, I will say, if Fnatic can get ahead early, that poke will be...
SK. To support Ash, Hail of Blades, you just want to be dashing in and out, but doing as much damage as possible. The risk for Jun is if he gets hooked after the first barrier and flash, it's a bit more tricky to escape from a Nautilus and a Senna.
So just... because we're in the early game.
Baron, have you thought about not being a Team Liquid fan?
Can we just talk about the number of people that just run?
It's okay not to be a Team Liquid fan now. They've been letting you down for literally years.
Like you look in this game,
They made the world's stupidest super team, and now they just don't have a carry. So just choose a better team.
Right? I think especially pros have come to realize the value of just having healing in lane. And like even though the healing is very minimal, it does have a pretty significant impact in my opinion.
Miski has basically won the mid lane because he pinged the ward that Humanoid put down, so he has that 5 gold lead.
And then as punishment, Humanoid hit him in the face with the mantra Q.
But my 10 years of fandom.
Is something that basically Karma got a
what has Steve ever done for you, Ferret?
Ratio is on 14.2. Then a lot of people realized
trying to get Hail of Blades value here. Here we go. Gonna zone them out. Okay, take some damage.
Ability. You get mantra cooldown back. You get that R cooldown back as well. I think it's 5 seconds per enemy champion hit. So you can basically RQ 3 people in a fight and then RQ 3 people in a fight again after the cooldown does come down.
I mean, also just with abilities.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
not a KT fan talking about letdowns. Well, you know what? I'm not a KT fan this year. I think KT sucks. And I want them to lose. I'm on the Gen G train now. Thank you very much. I'm just following my guy Keen around.
Only level 1 for Exakik and DOS for the time being.
I will not be a filthy Pioshik and barrel cheerer. Get out.
It might look for a bot lane gank first, depending on how that wave state is going. Currently, they're underneath the tower. Noah tried to trade in. Exakik and DOS are, I believe, 3 minions away.
I mean, famously, I was a KT fan, but I hated KT arrows, and they were the only KT fan while I was casting to win in Korea.
Jun comes across, helps out Razork. As you say, push into play is exactly what Fnatic have done.
Now, I'm here for Cuz and Keen this year, guys.
Level 2, there we go.
Kwangdong, Genji. Those are the teams I like.
Have been snuck away by Razork.
You may have mentioned this earlier, but the Doran's blade.
You're a diehard Jin Air fan for 5 years. You guys choose suffering. It's amazing.
Often a lot of supports will start with that support item, but
truly the Jets fans of League of Legends.
Double AD carry. And it gives you a lot of power in the early laning phase. Usually on first base, they can still pick up that support item.
It does mean you need to get to the
Monty betrayed KT. KT betrayed me. KT betrayed me by letting Cuz and Keen walk and hiring fucking Pioshik. I didn't betray KT. KT betrayed me.
In modern League of Legends, Razork looking for double scuttle here. Won't be able to get it because Isma's already taken one away. But in the end, about a 2-camp lead for Razork. He does still have his entirety of his top side to do as well. So
Razork looking for the respawns, all in from Fnatic's bot side.
just a bit of a trade. Noah and Jun, I really like how separated they're playing here, because it means if DOS ever hooks in, he can only CC one of them. He can only lock one of them up, which means the other one can just step forward and harass Exekick like this. And you can see the issue for DOS is, well, if you go on Noah, well, Jun just auto-attacks your AD
But
carry.
here comes Isma, looking to try and punish the aggression. He should be spotted.
He is spotted.
And Noah should be fine.
Yep.
And now they can actually punish Isma here, the slow from Jun. Very well done from the Fnatic bot lane. Who would have thought, you know, I always thought the 180 carry was annoying. Just add a second one.
We saw it at Worlds. 480 carry bot lane is the only way to play.
I remember. Carrier is the one that brought this menace to us all.
Darn Carrier. His good League of Legends again.
Darn him. So, Razork sitting pretty happy right now. You can see the CS, obviously not truly representative, you get 4 CS per camp that you clear, but the point is advantage in his favor. He effectively has a kill over his jungle counterpart, which is resulting in Fnatic having this early game lead, thanks to the early invade. Now Isma is on his Gromp respawn, but ultimately we're in a very passive and slow early game, and that's just kind of what we expected when you've got Ezreal Ashe. It's an oppressive lane, but you don't have a huge amount of necessarily kill pressure unless you're considering going for the dive and you've done enough chip damage. In the top side of the map, it's a Zac versus a Gnar. These champions can't really...
No, with this bot lane with Jin Zhao for Fnatic, you don't want to dive. You want to force them into a fight and skirmish with them in river. Or play a counter gank, because you can win those, right, with kiting from Ashe and Ezreal, and the single target damage of the Jin Zhao. But you can't dive, especially if you think Rel might show up. Diving Santa Nautilus, very difficult to do.
Yeah, as to be expected. The only real development was the invade on the blue and the Gromp, which Fnatic managed well. Big wave pushing in here, but Fnatic deciding against diving. You know, you've got a tear and a Doran's blade on your...
No, you cannot dive.
Get the objective, get yourself a plate, a little bit more gold in your back pockets. One of the great things about playing a ranged support like the Ashe is you can always argue that you should share the plates. And as a support, getting that 63, you know, to 100 extra gold, it's just so nice.
And I mean, if your AD carry's not there, why don't you just take the plate?
I do, all the time. They get very mad. And then I start...
Isla and Yun as a pair were your dream. Ferret, we got to get you some better dreams, guy. Isla is bad. Yun is bad. They're both actively bad players. We need to get you some better dreams. That's not a dream. That's settling. That's big time settling.
Isma showed on the top side because he was taking those grubs, and obviously when you take all 3 of them, you get a pop-up for the enemy team. So 2 plates over to the Fnatic bot lane, playing through this early game.
That's not a dream.
Everything we expected them to do with this composition.
Your dream is like Viper Carrier. That's your dream.
Dentist, right? Yeah, also playing some Magic the Gathering, which I know you love, and you would love to come and join our Magic the Gathering group.
I don't want to buy a deck.
Smeb was bad too. They could improve.
I can lend you a deck.
Give me a blue.
Smeb is an outlier.
Blue-green deck.
Yun is a known quantity at this point. How many more chances do Yun and Ayla need to get good? Dude, I had to watch 2 Ayla games back to back yesterday. It was horrible. It was horrible watching him play League of Legends.
So you didn't play the game.
Yeah, and that is frustrating. But with this deck, you get to draw your land.
I see.
What about you? Any plans?
No, it's my weekend tomorrow. Starting tomorrow.
Nice.
So I'll probably actually farm a lot of League.
If anyone sees him in Emerald,
Yeah.
Emerald 2, Emerald 3, his name is Vedius.
It's my favorite when they always go, are you the real Vedius? And I'm like, I can't.
Who would pretend to be me?
Who's my favorite LEC team so far?
Noah gets hooked.
G2, obviously.
Flash away. Noah, Fnatic
I enjoy some aspect of BDS, but they are pretty transparent in their strategies. Why is Noah here? Lol.
Fnatic fans just absolutely cursed him.
Let's go in and get him. It's my favorite when they always go, are you the real Vedius? And I'm like, I can't.
Who would pretend to be me?
Oscar in and getting bullied a little bit. Noah
Gets hooked.
Just walking into river while his support is recalling. Classic. Classic.
Absolutely cursed him. I've heard of a caster curse. I didn't realize the fan curse was as powerful.
Nice pick there.
Just dreaming of ring another Dark. Dude, you have some trauma to get through, Ferret.
But the bot side, Noah just getting punished. Hope we get a replay there and see, was he just standing on a ward and he ended up just getting caught? Because like he used his E into flash, he wasn't expecting Isma to be on the other side of the wall. And it's SK that secured themselves first blood.
Kill going over to Isma, not the place you would put it ideally if you were SK. Obviously, getting that center ahead makes a lot of sense, but still, Isma's gone back, got himself a Barmies, can go back to farming up.
You have only 150 viewers less than Hotline League right now. Usually I beat Hotline League. What's going on? Actually, technically I have more because I have people on YouTube. Just gonna point that out. Is Hotline League also on YouTube?
Yeah, I think so. But then he gets rooted, caught in the last embrace, and the flash over the wall, if Isma wasn't there, would have been enough to keep him alive.
It's okay, guys. You know, LCS viewership is up 4%, so, you know, probably a bunch of those people are going to watch Hotline League soon.
But the positioning was quite aggressive. As we see the arrow come through in the mid lane, hits onto Niski. Humanoid's going to land the chains as well. The true shot barrage is enough, and Niski doesn't get a chance to move.
Look at Niski's face there.
Ferret, I think you should call into Hotline League with some of those takes, man.
He's like, what? I mean, I guess I was outplayed.
Go for it.
Really nice arrow, Niski's face.
Aggressive. As we see the arrow come through in the mid lane, hits onto Niski. Humanoid's going to land the chains as well. The true shot
Super nice.
Ooh. To move.
Look at Niski's face.
Really good job. Underrated combo, Ezreal and Ashe ults. We don't really see a lot of Ezreal and Ashe on the same team, guys, but that was really well done.
The chain CC makes it a clean kill. Ends up being a trade back for Fnatic, now 1-1 in kills. The gold returns to dead even. And Humanoid going to have to push another wave in here so that he can get a nice base off. So far, very slow early game, very much as we expected. The next dragon spawning in about a minute and a half. The grubs are going to be up soon. We'll see if Razork decides to try and test them this time around.
I've seen Oscar win and go back and get a Barmies and plated steel caps. We'll help him out in the lane a little bit. Execution is first for irrelevant, but he hasn't based in a while.
BDS is just a skill check team to me, says Avalon Blue. No, they're not. Well, what do you mean by skill check? Like, yeah, they're kind of all individually not great. But they do have pretty good macro, and they do have a really solid identity with how they play the game.
Try and play towards that. Could just look for the Infernal Drake up in 53 seconds, as you said, Betty. Isma's actually
Travis and Loco should do a show together. They hate each other, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Into the Drake, knowing that Razork could play on the top side. He'll be
What's Loco doing these days? He's working for a Web3 company.
Yep, that Irrelevance just placed across the wall. So
I saw him in December here in Korea. He came to my Christmas party.
It's not going to be the Drake yet, though, because there's still 30 seconds before that's up there.
Isma's getting this deep vision, looking for a potential dive. Noah recognizes he's on the weak side. Going to use his ultimate to thin out the wave.
Noah has no flash.
Dangerously
Dos
close.
has ult.
Noah?
This is not the easiest from Noah as the stun lands, but a good enchanted crystal arrow.
Okay. Well, maybe we didn't have to take that risk. Guys, maybe we didn't have to take that risk, Noah. You're playing on the edge. Maybe you should go back to Senna.
Is the SK feel strong enough to force this dragon? Noah and Jun, yes, they lost the heal, but they're actually very healthy. Humanoid has the push in mid, and Razork's making a
Watching the old content again was fun to see all the Loco banter.
Fnatic to actually get the dragon hit. Irrelevant.
Yeah, he was very entertaining.
Nice trades. They got no, decided not to go for any crazy play. But that was a big window.
Any tips to elevate your cooking skills? Just try new stuff. Best thing you can probably do to make cooking easier for yourself is subscribe to the New York Times cooking app. They have a bunch of like basic skills and like pantry advice in there. So they have, you know, articles about outfitting your pantry to various different levels, and then you can just kind of hunt around for different recipes that sound good. New York Times cooking app is so good. It's like $5 a month too. It's incredibly worth it.
Good sequence for Fnatic. They get the grubs, they get the Drake, and they manage to get the flash out of Ismu as well, and Dos. Dos's flash still on that Hex flash right now. Plates in the mid lane as well.
Where you watch all the old VODs on the FNC YouTube channel because it's all you and Doe's greatest hits through OGN and early LCK. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like something fun we could do in the off-season.
Looks like he has gone back, picked up right now. There it is. 30 ultimate haste and those the little puddles of extra damage.
I always think it's fire for some reason, but it's supposed to be blood.
Is it blood?
I believe so. That's what Draco's told me.
It says burns the ground on the thing I'm looking at, but
Maybe I actually did it. Maybe I thought it was blood, and Draco's like, no, it's fire. Maybe that's what happened. That actually sounds way more realistic. Sorry, Drax. Don't mean to throw you under the bus.
You seem I like jazz music? True. Yeah, I mean, I like classic jazz music.
Spawning in about 45 seconds. Plates being chipped away at. Bot side, Fnatic, that's their third plate. Noah.
Where's the homie Doa at? He's in Minnesota right now?
I mean, technically it just says a scorched zone on the official tooltip.
So it's just uncomfortably warm.
I mean, blood can scorch, I guess.
True. I mean, anything can scorch if it's hot enough, no?
Yeah. Although if blood got to a scorching level, would it be like steam blood?
You're the medicine.
I'll be honest, not often in medicine do we say how hot does blood need to get before it turns into steam blood. I would assume it would be about water level.
Isn't that just body temperature, though?
Body temperature is 38 degrees Celsius.
You've got to clarify
I mean,
that.
37 point or something. But like, even then, I don't think your blood boils at 37 degrees, otherwise we'd all be dead, Betty. Isma looking to take us out of our misery with this conversation. Going for that fight. Blue buff secured by Isma, I believe. Razzle chases him away, though, and there's the kill. Fnatic get their second on the board. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Irrelevant continues to harass and harangue. Oscar winning.
Ooh. Nice trade once again from Irrelevant. Isma sacrificed his life for a blue buff. I think Fnatic will be pretty happy with that trade. They're continuing to mount advantages. Tower going to be secured in bot lane. That tower is getting very low in mid as well. They're looking for the dive.
Where are you going, Niski? Emperor's Divide, flash away initially. Razzle dashes forward. The Emperor's Divide comes back. The Dawning Shadow shield, not enough. As Humanoid and Razzle gave it a tank up both the towers and escape.
Nice movement from Fnatic from bot into mid.
Yeah, this game's much cleaner from Fnatic.
But Irrelevant still standing strong in the top lane. In game one, he was a massive contributor to the win for SK. Let's see if he can do the same thing again this time round, because Fnatic's mid lane building a big advantage. Jungle, big advantage. Things are all looking up for Fnatic here.
TP invested as well to make sure they can fight around this Rift Herald. Isma backs away from it. Irrelevant looks like he's going down towards the bottom lane to catch that wave. Does have a TP coming up in about 30 seconds or so. For the moment, it is all Fnatic. 2,000 gold lead developing for them. We did see this a little bit in game one as well, until Irrelevant was able to join up with his team. I expect we'll see him joining up with his team in about a minute 30 time, as that is when the next Drake is up. It's another Ocean Soul for us, Betty.
But Fnatic going to move their pressure up towards the top lane. They've already unlocked the bot tower. The mid tower is basically a light breeze away from falling. So the pressure being put down here. Humanoid, though, has been left by his jungler.
No tower here for him. Isma might just use the Magnet Storm initially. There's the slide forward. The arrow goes.
Pressure being put down here the top lane.
Pretty awkward by Humanoid to stick around for this. Like, you're not actually going to take this turret, and you have no tower on the other side. So he basically just asks to die here. He says, please kill me.
No tower here for him. Isma might just
His team is already on the recall after taking Herald. Super awkward. Bad communication by Fnatic.
Noah takes the tower.
Yeah, I will say that was probably a mistake on Humanoid's part. The rest of his team did choose to back away.
I'm just saying, in yesteryear there was a tome written about Humanoid dying in side lanes. Feels like we've just gone back to those days for a second there.
Gives away a kill to SK, which they'll be happy to claim. They do, of course, lose their mid tower, but the Dragon now, 45 seconds away. Humanoid going to be alive for that. Noah has the push in mid. The only problem is it's going to be harder for Oscar Rinnin to be able to push that wave in. Admittedly, though, he's uncontested on this wave for now, so it shouldn't be a problem for him.
I feel like we want to do a stack check soon, Betty, but first I want to ask you, how many stacks do you think the center has? Don't click. I'm looking at you. Don't click on that screen.
I'm going to say 42.
Yeah, I don't think it's that high. I think around 38 to 40. I would agree with you. 40 exactly.
I was too off.
It's a bit harder to get stacks when you're playing into double ranged, obviously, and Exakick has struggled to get as many stacks as we saw Noah acquiring. So it's just going to put Rift Herald down and charge through mid.
I'm ready for the fight.
Okay. Build it up, Eddie. Come on.
Oscar in coming in from the flank.
Doss looking
SK.
for him. Oscar in court. Razork might just look for the Drake here. Oscar is going to take a long time to kill. Niski now stepping back. Oscar in already low. Extra kick with the dawning shadow. The Drake secured by Noah. Oscar in dies. No fight ensues. Just look for the Drake here. Going to put Rift Tower down and
Here
charge
we go.
through mid.
I'm ready for the fight.
Okay. Build it up, Eddie. Come on.
Oscar in coming in from the flank.
Doss looking.
He literally just gets hooked, doesn't have any vision. His team has not actually approached the Drake yet, and he gets chain rooted and dies. They actually steal the Drake, though, which is pretty unbelievable. So I guess he did his job in that he distracted everybody, and Yzma sticks around, doesn't actually contest the Drake, even though he's playing Rel. But the dragon goes over to Fnatic. So, okay, what the fuck? Drake, but I really think that's worth for Fnatic. They now find themselves it's so worth for Fnatic, even though it was a terrible play. I guess Oscar in was just the bait. He was just the distraction.
You can already see Niski committing to the bot tower.
Harold not actually put down.
Ooh, it's fine. It's fine. That was close. Here comes humanoids.
There's the arrow.
Arrow. Ooh. Niski won't fall for the same trick twice.
Harold not invested by Razork in the mid lane to charge towards that tower, instead saving it. Obviously can't save it for the next Drake. It will expire before then. Will be automatically.
Is Senna good with the lack of stacks available while farming? Well, they didn't have a choice to go another ADC because they picked Senna and Nautilus in the first rotation of the draft. That was before Ashe was picked, so they didn't know they were going to get zoned out. But they did see an Ezreal Karma, which means maybe you will get zoned out.
Actually, you give the advantage to Irrelevant.
I think Irrelevant wins these. Yep, Irrelevant wins these.
Bot TP. Regardless, Jun and Irrelevant will now go face to face. Naturally, you give the advantage to Irrelevant.
I think Irrelevant wins these. Yep, Irrelevant wins these. Isma here to back him up. And
Irrelevant will just be like, all right, we'll have a nice Monday. I'll take that kill and go back to my lane, push this one out.
Jun just typing in chat, had to use your ultimate to kill me.
Kind of cringe, bro.
Yeah, cringe. That is the weakness, obviously, of playing these range supports. AD carry
they're
supports.
really squishy.
Yeah, really squishy.
Also, top laners are often designed to kill you, regardless of whether they're tank or not.
It's a 1,600 gold lead for Irrelevant in the top lane. Evens out the gold between the two teams. With
What's the time in Korea? 1:51 p.m.
Needing the charge here for Fnatic. TP's behind. There's two invested. That second one will be seen because it's on a control ward. The arrow does land onto Exakick, who's now trying to get away. Hook from Doss as well. Oscar Winnan tries to get on the back line, but misses the stretching strike. The investment from Doss was a deadly one as he sacrifices himself to get the rest of the team out, and he should be able to walk away as well. Oscar Winnan could look for...
Just watching a bunch of frontline Nautiluses die first this series, I guess.
Not be a shot that he desires to take.
Immediately, Razork moves towards the bot side. Thought he was hunting his former teammate. Instead, he has his eyes on the jungle.
I think he's hunting his former teammate. Flash!
Oh. Misplay there from Razork. Tries to flash over the Emperor's Divide, but misses it up slightly. Niski gets away to safety. He still keeps his flash. Blue buff. If they wait 4 more seconds, the whole team can get it. Huh? Why did that just... Did it level up? Maybe at 20 minutes, because the Baron spawned, it leveled up, maybe?
That's what we'll say, Betty.
Yeah.
We'll go with that one.
But yeah, now the whole team
yeah, because the 20-minute ones have more health, right? They're tankier. So it evolved. Real-time evolution in front of our eyes, Betty. It's a scientific marvel.
Yeah.
Bettius et al. Releases their paper.
I'm curious that Razork doesn't have the blue buff, though.
Bettius et al. Releases his paper. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna
Everyone
move
else
on
has one.
No, he does have it, though. Look, it's on his bar. It's on the bottom.
No, get in it. Get it in the Herald.
So he does have it.
Okay, cool.
Do it. You won't.
We're cool. Yeah, nice.
Herald dropped in mids. What are they going to use this
Yes,
for?
he is going to do it.
They're going for top lane.
Oh, nice.
I think it would be funnier if you had to do a QTE event as you were riding the Rift Tower. The longer you go, the harder it becomes.
You mean like Osu?
Yeah, like Osu. Or eventually it just becomes Wordles or Lol's, right? It's like, if you don't guess the champ action, I'm just going to run back and hit your tower. You get the Rift Tower in. Isma has to flash away here as Razork was on the way. The Enchanted Crystal Ammo dodged away from him as well. Doss, Hex flashing away. Isma doesn't really have a place to go here. The Magnet Storm still locking Razork against the wall, but with the TP coming in from Niski, Irrelevant's looking for that Mega Gnar. Bar building up, Humanoid keeping them so far at bay though.
Yeah, the poke is so crazy. Oh, Irrelevant, nice flash. Does Razork doesn't have ult. Uh-oh. Here comes Zach. Razork barely saving this fight. That was almost a disaster.
Tries to run from the karma, but it's out to get him. Can't quite find it as now Humanoid has overstepped. Will be a 3 for 3 in the end. He has, Betty. Yep, he has.
The heal from the Mantra W looked close there for Humanoid, but it wasn't quite enough. 3 for 3. If Humanoid hadn't greeted for that extra kill, they would have had the kill advantage, but Isma gets caught out here, sitting in the top lane, doesn't have any way to get over the wall, tries to turn it into a potential fight as the TP is starting to come through from Isma.
Not a great ult by Razork, I think.
But he loses his life too quickly.
Guess he's concerned with some of the Senna damage from over the wall. But if he had had this ult later, I think it provides a lot more value. But they turn in anyway. Irrelevant totally saves this fight, though. So does Niski. Comes in, flashes, 3-man ult. Very nice.
Brilliantly done. But now we go back to live. Ends up being a 3 for 3 in that top side. The kills are even. The gold is pretty much dead even. But remember, this is Soul on the line for Fnatic.
No depth charge for DOS. Ultimates across the board for Fnatic. Niski doesn't have his ult either yet. 9,000 on the Drake. Humanoid TP's in. Noah trying to put the chip damage down. Irrelevant building up that Mega. No flash for him. Makes it harder for him to get access that back line. MonteCristo hits Isma.
Comes Zach.
To burst him down, Oscar in and dives forward, and the smite secured by Razork. And now the fight perhaps secured by Fnatic. Irrelevant trying to get towards that damage, but he just can't.
Oscarinen is just a distraction, guys. He's just a bait. And now he's a Zach with Ocean Soul, so back-to-back Ocean Souls for Fnatic, but they actually are going to win this game.
24 minutes in, there's the Baron, 1,000 gold lead for them as well. Let's have another look at this fight, Betty.
So the arrow comes through, connects onto Isma. That's Razork's window to start, and then Oscarinen gets interrupted by the hook from DOS. But you can see how split up SK already are. Exakick stuck in the pit, left in a 1v1 against Razork that he's happy to take.
It's nice, actually. It's super nice that Razork engaged that really well.
But the poke damage is just too strong from the side of Israel and the Ashe to just...
And it's really good that they got this Dragon Soul because the scaling from SK should be coming in pretty mega.
Step forward and try and put some extra damage down onto you. Isma has been caught by that a couple of times in the last couple of fights.
So you need to have, I think, some lead if you're Fnatic, as your damage is just going to fall off as time goes on.
Tier 2 here, but they're sacking 2 tier 2s for it. Obviously a net gain for Fnatic. Niski tries to clear out the wave, or at least chunk away at Oscarinen, and MonteCristo going wide there. Isma dashes back. But the wave stayed in mid lane, very healthy for Fnatic. They'll get an inhibitor tower out of this. TP behind by Irrelevant. He's built up that Mega Nart bar. Now Razork's got a little bit too deep.
Here we go, Irrelevant TPing in with Mega.
Away from the rest of Fnatic. Razork locked up with a depth charge as well. Should fall here, but the heal gets him out in time. Irrelevant goes into Mega. Does not have the flash, but he has the dash to only bring back.
Well, he didn't actually break the tether, so he came in and just got rooted. No flashes the actual engage, and that should be it, right? All right, well, this restored some level of hope in Fnatic. I mean, Oscarinen only died one time, and he died getting them soul point. He was an excellent bait.